Well, everyone would probably agree post 9/11 travel is a lot more stressful. But our next guest says it doesn't have to be. David Cunningham, he is a communications expert and he travels all the time. He's here with some tips that are going to make our traveling experience less stressful, especially as it's starting to heat up. We are ready to get out of town. Welcome to Sonoran Living.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay, I have to admit, I do get stressed out when it comes to travel, but once I'm through the checkpoint and through security, it's almost like, I'm ready. I can do this now.
That's sometimes the hardest part, isn't it?
Exactly. Just get me through that with no problems and I'm good. So how can you help us? You know, we can set ourselves a success and a plan to sort of get down that road.
Well, the first thing is before we leave home is to decide what's important to us, create our commitments. What's important to us about the trip itself, like traveling comfortably, and what's important once we get there, like what kind of room do we want? Do we want to be able to eat? Do we want to be able to exercise? What's important to us?
So know all that before we leave, sort of have a plan.
Exactly. Create our commitments before we go.
Okay. And what are the things that you brought along to sort of help us with that?
Well, one of the things that's important to me is just traveling easily. And like you said, getting through security. So for myself, I like to always travel to get through security. I wear slip-on shoes. That's the first thing. So I don't have to tie. I carry a little shoehorn that's right in my bag, so it's easy for me to put my shoes back on. I wear pants with an elastic band so I don't have to wear a belt. I'm going through security so easy. It really becomes effortless that way.
But it also looks like you're planning comfortably, right? You want to be comfortable with the elastic band.
I want to be comfortable on the plane. I make sure I pick a bag that's exactly the right size.
Right.
I have my whole office in here, but it's exactly the right size so it can fit overhead or go under the seat. There's nothing worse than having a bag that you have to struggle with. That's the hardest part.
Right, or where it's like totally bulging out on the side and you know you're going to have to push it down to get it in the overhead bin.
And then other people get mad at you while they wait for you too. So to be able to do this easily is really important.
So it sounds like you can almost set yourself up to be stressed out.
That's the point. And if you're out the door before you set yourself up, it's too late. You want to make sure you have the clothing you want, the equipment you want, the supplies you want to be able to for the trip itself, but then also once you get there. So I always, when I get there, then I set up my room too.
Okay.
I like a room that's a lot like home. So I carry a picture of my family. I make sure I have music with me. I found one of the smallest speakers in the world that has really good music. I carry my supplements with me really easily, so it's easy for me to eat well and exercise once I get there. All that planned ahead of time. Okay.
Now, are there examples, you know, to set up while we're traveling? I mean, you brought the pictures. That almost seems like it's a little excess. That could really make this bag get a lot bigger.
Well, I carry that in my suitcase, actually. Okay, that one goes right in my suitcase, and I found one that doesn't add to the weight, and it's easy, and it's like light, and so it goes right in my suitcase. But when I get there then, my room's just a little bit more like home, which is important to me, and I'm in communication with my family.
Because that's part of the thing that maybe won't stress you out, is just knowing that you're not away from your family, even though you are.
Exactly. You know, while we're on the road, it's still our life. You know, it's not like time out of our life. It still is our life. So it's important that we really love it, and we can do that.
Well, you say something about making requests of other people. What does that mean?
Two things. One is before you leave, if there's certain things you want, it's important to make requests. Call ahead. If you're going to want early check-in, call the day ahead of time to ask for that. It's upsetting if you get there and you can't do it.
Right.
If you're going to want a certain kind of restaurant or you want a gym in the hotel, make sure that's all set up ahead of time. Make those kind of requests.
Okay.
But communication is the main thing, right? When you travel, you're surrounded by strangers. So to be able to be an effective communication, right? Why I travel is I lead seminars for Limerick Education on effectiveness and powerful living. Communication. Making requests.
Okay.
Being clear what you want. Ask for it. That's really key. A lot of times we expect people to give us what we want without asking for it. Clear request is important. And one other piece is then acknowledging and appreciating the other person.
Okay.
You know, maybe the
stranger.
The stranger.
Okay.
Maybe the person in security, maybe the clerk behind the counter. They have procedures they have to follow. They have rules they have to follow. Acknowledging them and appreciating them.
Respecting them.
Respecting them, and then making a clear request. Things work out really well. You can really love traveling.
Okay, well, it sounds like you love traveling.
I do. I do it all the time.
You make it very, very easy.
Great, Andy.
Okay, I'm going to get those elastic pants.
Good.
And those slip-on shoes.
Good.
Actually, flip-flops I would think would be easy too.
Easy, very easy.
But then you want to have something to put on your feet so you don't have to walk on the dirty carpet.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe it's a girl thing. I don't know. All right. Well, we are going to have all of this information and more tips on our website, so you can go to sonoranliving.com to find that out.